So, what's good, everybody? It's me again. My name is Zen, for those who are new. It's still a new page. And, I decided to go ahead and jump into tarot. And just because I pulled the cards already, I'm starting to get the hang of this. Getting into a routine and pulling the cards and then preparing. I really sit and think about this, y'all. I mean, not think. I sit with it. I reflect. And so I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm doing all right. It's hot out, but it's not as humid as it was last week, so I'll take that. I'll take it. Summertime. It's supposed to be hot, so that's cool. In the last post, there was a lot of mention of horses. I've been getting a lot of signs about horses, and so I decided to look it up this morning. And horses, and I didn't do a thorough search. I just clicked around, but horses. It's a funny word. Horses represent power, strength, freedom, driving force, sexual energy, mostly but not exclusively masculine energy, strong emotions, passionate desires. And there was a reference to black and white horses, and I'll be honest with you, the world has a way of associating black with, famine, scarcity, and war, and white is purity. So, I'm black. So, of course, I always feel like there's kind of an undertone to that. But the longer I sat with this, what I'm getting at is this, right? I actually wasn't even looking for this in particular. You know how you do a Google search and then you scroll all the way down, and in the bottom there are suggestions for different ways of wording what you put in the Google search, in order to have a variety of results. And one of those literally said black horses of the Bible, right? Of the Bible. And when you click on it, at the very top, there's one article. There's usually one article highlighted before you scroll down, and there's an article highlighted, and then there's the first couple of lines is literally highlighted. And I couldn't help but notice that the part that was highlighted was famine, scarcity, war, etc., etc. But when you keep reading, the not highlighted part says overcoming challenges and need for spiritual discernment. I feel like there's this human nature that we have of being attracted to drama, and being attracted to the negative, and not, because when you look at it all together, it's very positive. Overcoming challenges like scarcity, famine, and war. And when you think about spiritual warfare, needing spiritual discernment helps you overcome a lot of these things. And so, which puts me in mind of how a lot of people are, just learning what shadow work is. And again, doing this kind of like maybe a general search and not really going deeper with it. And this idea that it's like all the negative things are in the shadow type stuff, and it's like there are negative things about me that I don't want to see, and blah blah blah. Like, no, any and everything that you suppress goes into a shadow. And in the same way, anything you have. Like, you buy things with intentions of using them and you don't use them, they just collect dust. That becomes shadow energy. And if anybody who might have studied like feng shui or anything like that, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some instruction in there where you should throw away things that's sitting around. So, or, you know, use them, give them away, sell them, but letting things sit around is bad feng shui, is bad energy, and it's no different than shadow work. Letting things just sit in your shadow actually starts to, it messes with you. It messes with you. It can actually even drain your energy. It's affecting your manifestations in a way you might cause confusion, because there's this whole part of you you're not seeing or facing or acknowledging, and so you're like, oh, why am I manifesting this? Why am I manifesting that? Blah 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 blah. But yeah, spiritual discernment and overcoming challenges. I'm like, why wasn't that part highlighted? Yeah, you get what I'm getting at? And white horses, of course, it says purity, success, good fortune. We tend to associate horses in general with success and fortune, because when you look up horses in general, that also comes along with it. You know, we think about horse races and people winning money, and like horses are they're basically like a commodity. I'm pretty sure they're really expensive to buy a horse, and yeah, that's the next thing on my list, is to visit some horses somewhere. And then, oh yeah, then that's that term horsepower, right? In cars, vehicles, we say this vehicle has the power of 60 horses, and we're just like, what? That's amazing, horsepower. So I'm thinking about drive and that passion and moving forward. All together, that does make sense. And so yeah, I feel like if I'm talking to people who are in a similar situation as I am, you're ready to get out. Like, maybe you're in a situation you're ready to get out of. I know I am. You know, we're manifesting a new situation. When manifesting a new situation, there's always, you know, I use a lot of metaphors, to be honest with you, because I grew up watching a lot of television. And so, like, in movies, right, when you go from one scene to the next, sometimes there's a fade to black. And so when we're trying to manifest a new life, right, we're talking about our whole life. Like, for one, that takes a while to cook. And so there's usually this in-between period of nothingness. Maybe nothing happening, maybe you feel like maybe you feel like spirit is ignoring you, maybe you feel like spirit is not talking right now, and maybe they're not talking right now because, like, look, we're working on what you said you wanted. In the meanwhile, you can work on your vibration. You can do some shadow work. You can just do things that will help shift your energy so that you can be a vibrational match to it. It's one thing to wish for it, it's another thing to have earned it vibrationally, matched it vibrationally, met it vibrationally. And that's the other thing about manifestation. I feel like we have this misconception about how manifestation works. And I mentioned in the last post about maybe being spoiled. If you had the kind of parents and maybe you have the kind of spouse that just gives you whatever you want, you got used to that process. I ask for something and then somebody gives it to me, and then I ask for something and somebody gives it to me. And so if most of your life things have just been kind of dropping in your lap, you may have got spoiled by that and not used to this idea of having to, like, really work a little bit harder than you're used to. And I'm speaking, you know, I'm spoiled, so yeah. And not that I'm against working hard. I guess, again, I can get spoiled because I know I'm able to manifest things to me. And the spirit is like, it's but so much of that we're going to allow, because you need to come out. You need to come out into the world. You need to come out and have experiences in order to learn and grow, so that when you get the manifestation, you can handle the manifestation. And so, yeah, the misconception is that manifestations, you're stationary and that your manifestation comes towards you. And it's like, no, that's not how manifestations actually work. And, you know, this is you. This is the manifestation. You are moving towards the manifestation as the manifestation is moving towards you. And so you can't really be completely stationary through that entire process. Rest is important, but if you keep in mind, when you're sleeping, your spirit is doing stuff. And so sometimes the spirit is telling you to rest is so that your spirit can go to work. Let your spirit go do what it needs to do to help you meet your manifestation. The first two cards that came out, and this card kept coming out, which I appreciate, right? Because this is what I think I might have called the other card Nine of Pentacles. This one is definitely Nine of Pentacles, right? This is that living the life of luxury card. So like, this is not just about having a lot of money, which is why it's Nine of Pentacles and not Ten of Pentacles. Nine is also the sign of like transformation. We have a lot of yellow and gold, orange in this card, and so I feel like I oftentimes feel like the Nine of Pentacles in a lot of ways for a creative person is the Ten of Pentacles, because when you're the things that it's like, there's one thing to have made money, you know, you go to work, you do the right thing, you get paid. There's another thing when you're an artist and you create something, you had an idea and you created it and you put it out there and it was successful. I feel like that's a different kind of feeling. And like, to me, maybe that's just me, but I feel like the Nine of Pentacles is the Ten of Pentacles for a creative person, because I don't know, whatever reason, I just feeling like, maybe because I'm a creative person and you know, I'm saying like attracts like, and so that's actually a large part of my intention of being here, is attracting more people to me that's like me, as opposed to this energy that I got into where I feel like I was maybe manifesting by default, not being clear about what it is I really want, not vibrating, not want but need, you know, getting clear about what I want and need, and I wasn't vibrating at my highest frequency possible, and therefore that is what I was attracting. And you know, again, Spirit has, you know, implanted all these ideas in me as a creative person, and I was being overly logical and like nitpicking, like, well, I'll do this and maybe I'll do that like that, and maybe I'll do that next year, and maybe I'll do that later. And Spirit is like, are you trying to get out of there or what? Like, we told you what to do. And the other thing about being spoiled in terms of getting results immediately is we start to get impatient and kind of short-sighted, right? Because no, I'm not gonna probably, you know, I doubt this page is gonna get 100,000 followers tomorrow. That's not gonna happen. However, my frequency is changing. That happens way faster. And so part of the abundance is your higher frequency that you achieve through being your authentic self and doing all the things that is an extension of your authentic self. Yes. And I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. There's a last random, like, not so random disclaimer. It's like, eat good. This person is eating good, but I also feel like, I know, like myself, I could stand to eat a lot more fruits and vegetables. But I can't help but notice, it's like this, because I was shuffling earlier and I shuffled, I put everything back, and I shuffled again. This card kept coming out. And this card came out right behind it, Seven of Pentacles. Right? You're working hard. Spirit is maybe trying to reassure you, like, look, that hard work is going to pay off. Right? You already got 7, right? You only need 2 more for 9. You literally only need 2 more. So maybe you've done, perhaps, right? Like, you've done more than you've given yourself credit for, and you're a lot closer than you think you are, right? And so it's like, maybe there's literally just 1 or 2 more things you need to do to get that 9 of Pentacles. Maybe you don't feel like you already made 10, like, you know, like, when that's fun. That's the fun thing about, like, crafting. Like, I've literally been crafting. I'll show you stuff eventually, but I've been crafting, and you know, I sit there, work on one, I put that down, I work on another one. And like before I knew it, I had like 10, 20, you know, not 20, I had like 10, 11 bracelets. And like, I'm like, that was faster than I thought. Like again, I get in my head and I get in my logic and I'm like, oh man, it's gonna take forever. But it didn't take forever. And it was fun. Like I actually enjoyed it. I could listen to music. And like that's the fun thing about crafting is like you can multitask. You know, my mind can handle listening to music and doing stuff with my hands, and so that's fun. It's like, and in a way I was getting multiple things done at the same time because I am a musician, and so one of the things I actually should be doing more often is just listening to music, and that gives me something to do with my hands, and I'm not just sitting there listening to the music. So that's been fun, exploring music. So that's the other part. I've been making things and listening to music more, so that's been fun. I've been to be more specific, I've been listening to a lot of Jersey club music lately. I'm like, y'all doing y'all thing with the remixes. I ain't gonna front. I was like, what's the last time I've been to a party in Jersey? I think that's a good idea. The next two, I'm gonna show the two cards at the same time. The next two cards out is Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Cups. So like, this feels good. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I should probably read the book on these two because I feel like it means more than what I be thinking. Okay, but here's what I'm getting at, right? Like what I just said about maybe there's like one or two more things you need to do to reach that Nine of Pentacles, and it's kind of like I feel like this is confirming that. When I see a hand coming out the sky, I feel like that's an idea, maybe again an idea that you have and haven't started yet, or an idea you haven't had yet. It could be either one. So Spirit is like, hang in there. Like for me, I know there's a bunch of ideas I haven't done yet. So it's like, and Ace of Cups, I actually feel like sometimes that means I'm feeling good. Maybe I'm feeling good as I'm starting these new things, and maybe this the feeling better is giving me the clarity in order to like implement these ideas. Oh, feeling new. Somebody almost feel like somebody just said something in my ear, like feeling new, feeling good. I feel like this is also like new beginning energy. You know, like when you're at, like I know that I'm beginning of this new chapter in my life, and so you're feeling the brand newness of it, and excited for all the new pentacles. Like pentacles is the physical world. So like I feel like a new pentacle could be new relationships, new lease on life, new ideas, new or like maybe there's a pentacle you're expecting and you don't quite have it yet, but God is like, I got it, and you'll have it soon. And I'm starting to notice this little road. I realize I don't think I ever really paid too much mind to this part down here. Yeah, I don't think I really noticed this one little thing. Like I see this road. There's this road that leads to this little gateway, which is really fun. If you ever like made one of those in the woods in the forest, it's actually really fun. You could make a gateway. It's really cool. But what I didn't notice before, you probably can't hardly make it out. But on the other end, what I'm seeing through the gateway, it looks like mountains. It almost looks like even snowy mountains, in the distance. So that's fun. That's cool. And we did this too. We did those two. Pardon. I be using this umbrella. I try to use this umbrella to like cut the wind a bit, so that you don't hear wind in the little microphone. And I try to project, and I'm watching these back, and it sounds okay. I've seen worse. Gotta start somewhere, right? I guess I'll try to figure out. I mean, I put my Cash App down there, so if you want to donate, to the cause. Like, buy me some snacks while I'm out here. That'd be cool. And so yeah, right after that, so I seen the 2 aces. Right after the 2 aces came this card again. I feel like this card has been coming up in every reading since I started. Matter of fact, I kind of feel like this card's been coming up since I started. Like, there's definitely stability in your future. There's definitely stability in your future. Like that, I feel pretty certain because it came up every single reading I did. I think maybe exception of one, but almost all of them. I feel like that. So I feel like this double ace leading to this could also represent a new relationship. A new partnership. Again, when I see the hand in the sky, to me it's literally saying like that manifestation is on its way. That new beginning is coming. It's like Spirit is like, we got it. We just haven't gotten it to you yet, and it'll be fine. You'll be fine. You will be okay. Like sometimes Spirit will reassure you with the ending. I guess one of the advantages to being a seer, to be honest, is sometimes I will have an idea of what the outcome is supposed to be, regardless of what's going on right now. That is the advantage. That is a huge advantage. It's like when you've been guaranteed a happy ending, it makes everything else a little bit easier to handle. It makes the hard times a bit easier to handle. And so, anyone resonating with my energy, I just want to say your stability is essentially guaranteed. Your stability is guaranteed. Just don't know. I don't know. Like you ain't. These things are still in the sky. There's some manifestations that still need to come down. Whether that be a people, place, or a thing, there's some manifestations that haven't come down yet, and they're just like, we got it. You know, when somebody says, I got the money, don't worry, I'm going to get it to you. Right? I'm going to get it to you, don't worry. I got after work, later, or like this weekend. I'm going to give you your money, don't worry. I got you, don't worry. This is that judgment card. Calling judgment, releasing judgment. Judgment card is interesting. That keeps coming out too. And I'm like, maybe there's more I need to say about it, right? When I actually think of the judgment card, I think of the sign of Libra. Libra is the scales and balancing things out, right? I'm not sure exactly. There needs to be some balance. There needs to be some releasing judgment. I'm realizing there's an angel playing an instrument. Didn't I just say like I'm a musician and I haven't really been playing my instruments? I feel like Spirit's been telling me to pick up those instruments. That's for one. And so like I might not have even picked up this card because of what it represents really. I might have picked up this card because of what the picture is. So these people are like, oh my God, it's so amazing. Their arms are up, they're praising this person. And then there's this red cross here. So Spirit has told me, which is also what motivated me to just start this thing, is like Spirit has told me on multiple occasions like that your voice is healing. Maybe you sing, maybe you're a speaker, maybe you're a teacher or a lecturer or a professor of any sort, and maybe there's still some self-judgment that needs to be released in order for you to step out and do it. Maybe there's also just like balancing out the masculine with the feminine energy, which is essentially I've been doing a lot. A large part of being trans and being declared female at birth, and then growing up and not understanding what transness is, and then realizing you're trans. A large part of that involved healing certain I guess like notions I had about men and masculine energy. Right? When I was younger, you know, when you have men in your family, we have, you know, like a lot of other families, we've dealt with addiction and some instability, some men sort of using their ability to intimidate to get their way, right? And I had this negative connotation of masculine energy, and I actually really enjoy feminine energy. I enjoy being in feminine energy. And when I first realized that I really trans, and part of it was like, at first I didn't want a beard, like stuff like that. I'm just like, can I be trans and not have a beard? And it was just like, yes. But then as it started coming in, I actually really like it. I kind of like it now. So it's like maybe I'm embracing my masculine energy a lot more. It's what's fascinating is how transitioning to a male can actually help you balance out your relationship with your feminine energy, which can actually help you balance it, which helped me balance out my masculine energy. I don't know if it makes sense. Like, it's like I got to the masculine energy through feminine energy, and like that's okay. I got there. And part of masculine energy is also I feel like the boldness to go out and like play that instrument. Maybe your voice is so healing, like I can't. No one I can think of in particular. It's like I don't know. Some people who are huge fans of Beyonce say like, yes, I listen to Beyonce music during this part of my life and during that part of my life, and she helped save my life, and she doesn't even know it. Stuff like that. The world card, right? And like maybe, just maybe, sounding that horn, you know, opens up the world for you. Whenever I see the world card, it's literally just, to me, just generally speaking, it's like the world is your oyster. Like, you can pretty much go anywhere and have anything, right? Which I'm pretty sure, like, the simplest metaphor is a literal singer, like somebody who released Judgment and went out there and put the album together and sang the song, and then it blew up. They had all these fans now, and then the fans start booking them all over the world. So I don't know, maybe I never really considered myself a great singer, but I feel like Spirit's been wanting me to put some music together. So, like, you know, maybe it works out. I don't know. 3 of Pentacles, and maybe you'll have some help. Which is not something I'm used to as well. Like, I feel like that's also part of what I'm healing from. Healing from those trauma bonds. Right? See, y'all, I can talk about it without gossiping and naming names. It was trauma bonding. None of it was personal, y'all. Okay? And it's okay. You're supposed to learn from the trauma bonding how to recognize what a trauma bond is, so you can stop doing it. Or at least, you know, acknowledge that you're doing it, and that's what you're gonna stay with. At least know what you signed up for. I always say that. Like, why don't you even at least want to know what you signed up for? So yeah, I picked some cards out this other deck, and it more or less confirms the first reading, right? She's got a surfboard. She's looking out. She's ready. She's like, I'm watching those waves. I just need the perfect timing, and I'm out. That fire is burning. It's definitely hot. It's summertime, so I don't know. Maybe this is gonna happen in the summertime. It's like she hasn't moved yet, so I feel like she's still watching. Yeah, I feel like surfing is a good metaphor for just like finding the right timing, go out there and, you know, catching that wave and relaxing and paying attention, and you know, right? You practice makes perfect. I'm pretty sure when you're surfing, right? Getting that right timing so you can catch the wave. Matter of fact, I was clicking around the internet yesterday, and I was clicking around Instagram yesterday, and I literally came across a woman surfer who I think it's called a barrel, right? When the wave is going like this, and the surfer is able to just go right in there. It was so clean. It was so perfect. And she was so excited. I'm like, good for you. And they're just like, see, it's okay. Like, I think there was a time period where I guess this company in particular was not allowing women to surf. It's like, it's just a surfboard, y'all. Like, sometimes, guys, I feel like you're being extra. But she goes out there and get herself hurt, and she signed up for it. Like, did you really care? Like, like, no offense, but people get hurt in front of y'all all the time. You don't care. But you know what I mean? But anyway, she did it. But it was a perfect barrel, and it just the surfing also just represents timing and balance and practice and focus. Yeah, all of that. This card came out with it, right? So I feel like when there's, you know, first there's some contemplation, some focus, practice. You have to practice on that thing, and then at some point you just be like, I'm ready to go. To me, this is the ready to go card. This person he's not just ready to go, he's going, he's in motion. That leg is up. That's a motorcycle, right? Sometimes you gotta pack up and go. Don't worry about who's coming with you. Matter of fact, I was putting that nicely. They're not coming with you. Just go. Save yourself. Sometimes you really just gotta save yourself. This person he doesn't even have any bags packed or anything. This looks like a crossbow in his back. Is that a crossbow? It's the last time I seen a crossbow. I don't think I've ever seen a crossbow in person. I don't think about it. But in person. Yeah. But this is crossbow, and this is one bird up top. To me, when I see birds in this card, a lot of times, to me, represents spirit and or spirit messages and or ideas. I feel like sometimes, you know, like birds, air, following guidance. Spirit said, come this way. I got you a ride. And he said, what? A motorcycle. I'm on it. I'm out. That's definitely the energy. I'm kind of in both of these energy, like contemplating and ready to go. I just don't got that. I don't have a motorcycle. So yeah, if somebody wants to give me a motorcycle or a whole car, that'd be cool. You can get readings for life. Not for life, a couple years. We'll figure out something reasonable, but a long time. I would do it. I could do it. Right? King of Pentacles, which coincides with the other stuff I said about Pentacles. Right? One of the awkward things of transitioning is that moment you realize it's like, it's time to be a man. You're a man in the world now. Isn't that funny, right? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of guys who's going to be like, that's not fair. You don't get to just transition and be a man and blah, blah, blah. That's not the point, right? I didn't transition to be like you. Like, that's the part people need to get through their thick skull. Like, I didn't transition to be like you in particular, right? And unfortunately, we live in a world that is having a hard time processing trans people. And socially speaking, what people generally see off the bat is a guy, right? I find myself even being more mindful around children. Let's be honest, like it's more socially acceptable for a girl to be like, oh, your son is so cute. And when a man does it, it's like, what do you want, sir? And rightfully so. Protect your children. I'm not offended by that at all. But for anyone out there who may be trans or non-binary and masculine presenting, maybe you're even like a stud and masculine presenting. It's like, I think there was some part of me that was kind of resentful about that there's even such a thing. We're so hung up on looks here, and like, even all these debates that we're having, I'm sorry y'all, like, we're trying to sound deep. A lot of folks are trying to sound deep with these debates, but none of these debates are very deep at all, right? We're talking about people's private parts, and we're talking about what it looks like to you, and you're theorizing instead of having conversations is not mature at all, y'all. And so, you know, we have this immature way about things, and then we get mad about confusion. So whatever, right? Temperance is similar to that justice card, I feel like, in terms of balancing out the energies. I feel like that justice card is more about balancing out your life, whereas temperance is more like, is even bringing home even more like balancing out your energy, your emotions, your feeling, like your sun with your moon, your yin with your yang. And so I might have gotten spoiled being in feminine energy, and feminine energy is also magnetic energy. What I said about manifesting, I might have gotten spoiled in that feminine energy, and knowing that I can manifest things towards me, and embracing more masculine energy and more drive and going for it. It's like, you can do it. I used to be one of those people that would go to school, would have 2 jobs. Matter of fact, when I was in school, I literally had 2 jobs when I started DJing. So I have it in me. I just like, sometimes I just be like, if I'm so magical, why can't the money just fall in my lap? Come on. And just like, we could do it that way, but you won't grow. Right? The spirit guides are like parents, right? Like, we could do it that way, and we've shown you that we could do it that way. Sometimes spirit will do it for you a couple times just to show you that they could, so that you notice when they're not doing it. Did you hear that? And so it's like, why aren't you? Because I was one of those people. I can manifest. I literally have $2 in my pocket. But I ain't starving. I'm not without a roof. I got food in my refrigerator. I have all the DJ equipment. I have enough DJ equipment to make 3 DJs right now. I can give 3 people equipment right now. You can go start DJing. I got the instruments, I got the tools, I got everything I need. The spirit is like, you need to get back into that masculine energy that you used to have before life shook you up a little bit. That's okay. Or maybe it's the opposite for you. Maybe you've been heavy in your masculine energy. It's time to embrace more feminine energy. I feel like that's true for most of the world, to be honest with you. And so I definitely like to speak for the people who is comfortable in feminine energy and actually need to, you know, I use the term need to fairly loosely. I don't like telling people what to do, but it's more in terms of, if you want balance, you gotta do something, right? Do something. Balance it out. That's what you want. If that's what you want. Maybe you don't want balance, but if you want the balance, then balance it out. Do something. Do more of this or less of that. This thing keeps shaking. I don't like that. Let's move this over. That should be better. I'm sorry. You've been dealing with that for like 30 minutes. I'm not reshooting this. This is me being my masculine energy, right? Because other times I'm nitpicky, like, it's too this, it's too that. I ain't got time for that, right? No more. Spirit is like, you're running out of time. So again, anybody who catches this, we're running out of time. We're running out of time. The manifestations, we have the manifestations. We need you to match. We need you to match the vibration. Unless we might not be able to give it to you. Things might go left, or there might be more delays. Tarot card. I want to show these 2 cards together, right? This is the Tower card. This is the Devil card. Ugh. Devil. quick reminder for those who are new to tarot, this is a tarot card. This is not a Bible, so don't get scared. This is not the Bible devil. Tower is number 16. I don't know, number 15. I see, okay, that's why I wanted to read the numbers. 15, 16, there's a progression happening here, right? And one thing I noticing about this, there's one little detail about this devil card, right? You have this man, long hair. I'm a man with long hair. That's fun. I mean, it's cut short now, but got his shirt off, and isn't that the symbol for like Age of Aquarius? I feel like that's a symbol for Age of Aquarius, as I am an Aquarius. And it's this number 15 card, it's number 16 card, right? So I feel like there's a progression from 15 to 16, which also adds up to 6 and 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. And so like progressing from, essentially I spent a lot of time focusing on healing myself. And Spirit is like, it's time for you to, you know, get in your king energy, get in your leadership energy. As a healer, right, part of my assignment, my agreement coming into Earth is that I would learn certain things in terms of healing and ascension and overcoming spiritual warfare. It's like we went through these, you signed up to learn all of this so that you can teach it, right? So that you can offer it. I feel like Aquarius is interesting because traditional deck, that the devil card represents Capricorn, but this person has a symbol of Age of Aquarius on it. And when you think about it, like January, the first month of the year is the beginning, and it's where you go from Capricorn into Aquarius. And when, as somebody who's an Aquarius with a Capricorn placement, that was one of the things that helped me understand where I needed to balance the two. Aquarius is really great in terms of being creative and not being afraid to try things. Sometimes I'm so heavy in my Aquarius energy that I'm not being any kind of practical. And then sometimes, you know, I get into survival mode, I get into this Capricorn energy where I may be being overly practical and stop creating again, right? So it's similar to, I feel like it's a similar concept of balancing yin and yang and balancing masculine and feminine, but I feel like when you bring Capricorn and Aquarius together, you have a real powerhouse energy. You have somebody who can be a leader, be a fair leader, and an Aquarius who, like myself, like took the time to learn to heal. You'll have a compassionate leader, and I feel like they're showing us this in the devil card. It's interesting. The devil in a tower. Devil in a tower. What the hell? Okay, stuff is floating around. See if I got something in my nose. I don't. Okay. Give me a moment with this one. So I'm like, we have the devil in the tower, and like, no, it's not the devil attacking you and bringing a tower. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. I actually feel like what Spirit is getting at today with this is, for one, not being afraid to break shit up, like to not being afraid to shake shit up, which is Aquarius energy. It's like when you Aquarius energy with Capricorn energy is someone who can be practical and organized, but also not afraid to shake stuff up, to mix stuff up, not afraid to ruffle some feathers. The thing, part of being an Aquarius, a large part of being a seer, to be honest with you, is when I say what I see, there ends up being towers, right? Speaking my truth, being in my Aquarius energy. There's some people who are, I know there are some, I met some people who just figuring out that I'm not the devil, right? I come into people's lives sometimes, and this happens often, to be honest with you. I come into your life, I'm a seer. I'll even introduce myself as that because I want you to have the disclaimer. Essentially, if you're walking around being fake healer in the world, I'm calling you out. And I'm not apologizing. I've been through too much. It's like I've been through too much to be myself. And my spirit guides have shown me time and time again that when I don't show up as myself, I get the tower. When I don't show up as my whole self, I get the tower. And so I guess that could metaphorically be seen as like, you know, a little devil. And again, I'm sorry if this scares some people when I say this. Oftentimes I view myself as the snake in the garden. Like, I feel like we villainized Eve, right? I feel like men have done exactly what they've been doing. It's like, it's Eve's fault because she ate that apple, and even though you got the Adam's apple in your throat. You literally have you have an apple in your throat, but let's blame Eve. She did it. Trusting that snake. The flip side to that concept is that sometimes spirit slips someone into your life unsuspectingly who's capable of seeing the truth in the situation and is not afraid to speak the truth. It's like, yo, that friend is using you. I'm that person, I'll tell you right now. Do not be the fake friend approaching me thinking that I'm going to not tell you to your face. I see what you're doing. So spirits, like, I need to be who I am in the world. In spite of the fact that people think that I'm the devil. People think, you know, people knee-jerk reaction. Like when you watch TV and movies, right? There's a psychic medium, right? They have a dream. They wake up and like, oh my God, I have this dream, this thing's gonna happen. Don't go. They're like, what? Don't go. I had a dream. Don't go. I'm going. They go and then they die, right? They get killed. I'm talking about TV and movies. Say it happens again, right? Week goes by, 2 weeks go by, they have another dream. Like, I had a dream about a murder. Matter of fact, I'll tell you, one of my favorite shows to watch, although I haven't watched it in a while, is Medium. Right? For the, you know, if there's CIA or FBI agents watching me, like, this is what I want to do for a living. But if it's not for a good cause, do not offer me no job. But that's just a little disclaimer. But anyway, she would have dreams about crimes, which thank God I don't have those kinds of dreams. I'm like, I don't want that. But she would have dreams of crime. She would have a dream somebody just got strangled or somebody just got kidnapped. And she would make a phone call to the police, to the precinct, but like, hey, there's a crime about to happen. I don't know exactly where, but I just had a dream about somebody being strangled. And of course they're like, okay, lady, you had a dream. You called 911 because you had a dream. She's like, yeah, but here's the thing, like, I'm actually a psychic medium, and I get these dreams about crimes, and then it actually happens, and it's like, okay, click, right? A couple days go by, exactly what she said was going to happen happens. And then she has another dream. She makes another phone call. Oh my God, I just saw another crime. This is happening by the water. I see water, I see trees, and I don't know, I feel like somebody gets stabbed, and I don't know, sorry, I'm not disclaiming these, but I'm almost done, to be honest with you. Long story short, she does that a couple times. So of course, the first thing people think is she involved? Like, first of all, how do you know these crimes are going to happen? Are you involved? So of course, the first thing they want to do is arrest her. Even though she's trying to help. Like, this is the story of my life. You know, I apologize for those who are finally just figuring that out. I'm sorry for those who still refuse to figure it out. But, I mean, I'm not sorry, but not sorry. And so first thing people want to do is demonize, they think you're the devil, right? And so they're like, let's arrest her. There's no way she could know about these crimes and not be involved. There's no such thing as psychics. Mind you, I call myself being in the healing community. I've met so many healers who, if you ask me, don't actually believe in healed as a real state of achievement. And that's a conversation in and of itself. We'll get back to that. But and then of course there's always one scene where while she's being questioned, another crime is taking place, right? And then they realize, okay, well, she was actually in the interrogation room when this crime took place, so there's no way she was involved unless she knows the killer, right? So of course, after a while, they question and demonize and arrest, blah, blah, blah. Then there's finally a moment where they realize, wow, maybe she's really psychic. Maybe there's really something to this. Maybe there's really something to this. And then they start calling her for advice. Like, hey, had any of those dreams lately? Right? Because they realize if we actually listen to this lady, we might be able to prevent some of these crimes, or at the least catch the criminal fast before they do it again, right? Now they're working with her, and now she has a job. Now she's medium. Now they hired her as a consultant. Now she gets a paycheck. Hint, hint. So, yes. So for all my seers out there, for all my psychics out there who are new to the business, show up. Be your seer self. Say what you see. And I assure you, I'll be honest with y'all, like when I don't show up as how I'm supposed to show up, I get the tower. Right? So oftentimes being the truth teller means I do create towers as a truth teller. It's like, sorry, your friend is lying to you. No, you're just saying that because you're jealous. Okay. A couple years go by and they're like, yeah, I don't talk to that girl no more. I'm like, you don't say. Y'all, I'm just here to help. I am just here to help. I have committed to the truth and nothing but the truth. If I lie, I get the tower. And do I want more towers in my life? No. The other end to that is the tower for me is also the more you show up as your authentic self, the more what's not a vibrational match to that version of you falls away. So that's another part of this tower. Actually, let me find this card. There was something else about this card. This tower card is actually a lightning bolt hitting a tree. I think that's a squirrel right there. Like, I don't know why the squirrel is just standing there. I think the squirrel fell out the tree. I hope you see this. This screen is kind of reflective on this end, but I'm not sure that affects you. But this tower card is a bolt of lightning hitting a tree. The tree explodes. There's a squirrel here, right? So nature. That's what made me say showing up as your natural self. It's like when you going from not showing up as your whole natural self to showing up as your whole natural self creates towers. You lose friends. You might lose your job. You might feel like you're losing your mind for a little while. I assure you, you realize that you actually were losing the world's hold on your mind, right? These are tricks of the Matrix, right? The Matrix wants to keep its hold on you. And so when you are releasing yourself and unplugging yourself, it's the Matrix that actually starts talking to you and saying, we're dying. We're gonna die. we're in danger. No, it's not we. That's your ego talking. That's the Matrix talking. It's not we. I'm like, well, guess what? We're all dying. I don't know if you knew this, but we don't live forever. Every day that you get older, you're dying. We want to be real technical about it. So it's like how you want to show up. How you want to die. How do you want to die? And this is the true meaning of the good morning. I'm actually I'm probably gonna shoot this video I'm probably gonna say this in a short at some point. Maybe I'll make a short out of this. But the reason we say good morning, I actually said this before. I think I might have actually said this before. That's the reason. The reason we say good morning is because when you are asleep, you are unconscious. You're not a different kind of unconscious than if I knock you in the head and knock you unconscious. That's why it's called knock you unconscious. whereas when you go to sleep, you go unconscious. You're an unconscious person, practically in a coma, and your spirit will leave your body. The reason why I don't know if you ever been around someone who, when they sleep, what do we say? They sleep so heavy they're just dead to the world. Because in that brief moment, you kind of are dead. Kinda. And like, this is not for the people who don't believe we're a spirit in a body. I don't want to hear it. It's not for you, okay? If you're someone who believes you're a spirit in a body, why would your spirit just lay there? Your spirit don't need to sleep. Your body does. Your body needs to rest. Your spirit is eternal and has all the energy it needs to do everything. You know what I mean? And so 8 hours goes by, 10 hours go by, 4 hours go by, 6 hours. Hours went by. You did a lot. You left your body. You might have traveled. You might have traveled to another country. You might have traveled to another planet. You might have traveled to the past or the future. You did a lot of moving around, and then you get back in it and woke up. I feel like we sometimes get so used to being human that, and it's not even our fault entirely. I feel like we live in a world that downplays how miraculous it is, the human being at all. Why do you think they keep trying to create robots? It took them a while to get down the clones, but they have clones now. It took a while because this is complex. It's like literally probably the most brilliant technology, the most brilliant piece of technology, biotechnology in the world is human beings. Our ability to be conscious of self at all, is literally what differentiates us from cats and dogs and deers. They don't know that we call them cats and dogs and deers. They're not sitting around saying, let's see, I'm a deer. Let me look up the spiritual meaning of deers. The fact that we can learn and grow and love and connect is nothing short of a miracle. We lay down, we go to sleep, we get back up again. Therefore, you are not obligated to be who you was when you went to sleep. That's conditioning that got you thinking otherwise. That's why you wake up and just keep being the character you was. It's part of the reason why people think I'm crazy. Some people think I'm crazy. Some people think I'm literally the devil. I know some people think I do dark magic. I don't. I'm black. Okay? What if it was called black magic because you learned it from black people? I'm just saying. So that is conditioning. That is conditioning. When you see black people doing magic, it must be black magic. But when white people do it, I'm being honest with y'all, it's psychic medium. Psychic medium. Psychic medium. Psychic medium. And then when I do it, oh, that must be black magic. That must be the devil. It must be evil. Sorry, y'all. We've internalized a lot of the racist crap. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Somebody's got to break it up. If you're stuck in an illusion, thinking you're in heaven, if you're stuck in an illusion, thinking you're in heaven, somebody's got to come in there and break it up. That's nothing short of a miracle. You ask God, what is going on? Something's not right. So you feel something in your gut. Like something's not right in here. You're right. You're in an illusion. You're in an illusion. And God will slither someone into your life and say, get out of that illusion. Get out of there. Get out of there. I learned how to let go. And I think that sometimes I forget what I've learned, right? Because again, like, you know, when you deal with spiritual warfare, when you go into survival mode, it could actually make you start to forget, like, wait a minute. Right? I'm afraid of something happening that's not happening. That spiritual warfare had me a little bit paranoid. Like, these people are trying to kill me. What if they actually kill me? And then I thought to myself, what if they actually kill me and I die just sitting here being scared? Will Smith said there's no such thing as fear. There's no such thing as fear. That's your imagination, right? So especially, he's like, up until that moment, like up into, you know, he was talking after skydiving. And he's like, up until that exact moment that I'm standing in the doorway of that airplane, like, there's literally no reason for me to be afraid before that. Such a fascinating concept. But long story short, you know, I guess in a way I'm that snake. I'm that devil that will tell you, get out of there. Get out of that illusion. Get out of that. Snap out of that crap. Stop thinking you can gaslight spirit and just get whatever you want. However you want it. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to be that person. But I had to learn, which I had to learn was in terms of morning is I learned, like, I can wake up tomorrow. I can make a decision today that tomorrow when I wake up, I'm going to be like this and not like this anymore. And I can make that quick shift. Although it wasn't a quick shift, right? It was contemplated for months. You could be in contemplation, but you could be in contemplation forever. And at some point, you got to make a decision. And there's actually one cute way of embracing change that you're afraid to make is don't make yourself do it this second. Like, you know there's a change you need to make. Don't force yourself to do it. You don't have to force. Maybe forcing yourself works for some people. Some folks are like that. They're like, I just forced it and then it just kept going, you know? Okay. Good. If it doesn't work that way for you, try setting an intention for tomorrow. And mean it, though, right? Because you could do that. I do that. I'm one of those people that, like, you know, I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to do that next week. I'm going to do it. It's like, stop doing that. And I think that's where Spirit was getting frustrated with me, because it's like, now you're gaslighting us because you said you was going to do something tomorrow and you didn't do it. We gave you the support. You said you were going to do something. We gave you the support and you didn't do it. You hesitated because you were scared. We understand that you're scared, but at this point now you're just taking our support and not doing it and not moving forward. So Spirit had to kind of snap me out of that and remind myself, like, yo, you know how to do this. You know how to change. You're just afraid because you're in this new face. You're in this new space. You have this new energy, and you're still maybe hanging on to the memories of how people treated you in the past, right? And assuming that that's what you're gonna get more of, right? It's like, oh, you know, people did this to me, people did that to me, and so now I guess I've been on guard. But you can set attention. You can set attention today that when I wake up tomorrow, I'm just gonna be braver. When I wake up tomorrow, do it. Don't keep saying tomorrow. Like, don't do what I did. I don't prescribe people the way that I went about things. Not all the time. I'm just teaching you what I've learned. and saying, like, I've been doing that tomorrow. No. If you say tomorrow, then do it tomorrow, right? Which is why I am getting closer to this manifestation, because I finally started doing it. There's a person here, there's a person back there. There might be 10 of Cups. This is really the fulfillment card. This is definitely the fulfillment card. And I mean, like, fulfillment in terms of, like, 10 cups filled. And so it's like, I got the money, I got the job, I got the house, I got the boo. I got the boo and the kids. I got a new boo and some best friends. I got 3 new business partners, whatever that looks like, whatever this fulfillment looks like for you, whatever your 10 of Cups look like. Right? I literally just said what I said, and then Spirit was like, yes, Z, they're also confirming for me, like, you're doing the thing. You're going to get your 10 of Cups because you're doing it. You opened up your mouth, like what the card just said. I'm literally doing the reading and following the instruction in real time. So Spirit is like, finally, Z, blow that horn, play that instrument, open your mouth. You know how to do things. We sent you here to be a teacher. Go teach. I'll admit the other thing is I got a little resentful towards people. I'm like, people aren't grateful. And they're just like, we know they're not. We know they're not. You show up anyway. Do what Spirit said you to do and go. Don't forget. You had a spiritual assignment. And you know, I'm around. I'm working on what it might look like. Yeah, see, that's the energy I was in. And there's that birdie in the air saying, snap out of it. Oh wait, I just realized, oh my God. It's funny how you can see a card so many times. I just realized this is person back here. What's it look like they're doing? I feel like this is the contemplating taking a leap, right? I feel like this person looks like they're standing on something, and that, you know, it's like when you jump off something high and you land like this. That's what this reminds me of. And then, you know, these birds up here. 5 is the number of making pivots, making a change, which is essentially what I said. This is speaking to folks who resonating with where I'm at right now. Like, I know there's some changes I need to make, and I was in my head. I'm like, where do I start? What do I do? Spirit is like, just jump in the water. It's like standing, you know, I was kind of walking around the pool, right? Walking around the pool, trying to figure out where should I jump in? Spirit is like, just jump in. Do it. You got this, right? We need you to get into that emperor energy. Put that red shirt on. Pose. With your sexy self. What my friend says to me all the time. With your handsome self. I'm like, what? This literally just fell out. Ace is another ace. We had an Ace of Cups. We had Ace of Pentacles. Now we have the Ace of Wands in this deck. Ace. You acing it. Like, you're doing it. I have a third eye story, but I'll share that another time. It's like, Z, that third eye is open. You know? Don't forget. You know how to do this. You're doing it. This High Priestess card was right underneath. So, like, be in that High Priestess energy. This is you. Stand tall. Shine that light. Come on, Z. They're like, come on. It's little birds. Like, come on. You can do this. Come on. We got you. We out here. Like, right? Imagine these are like spirit guys saying like, hey, we got your back. It's okay. It's okay. We're out here. We watching. We see everything you're doing. It's fine. You're good. Make the change. Make that change. I am looking at the man in the mirror. I am asking him to change his ways. No message could have been any clearer. Yeah, nope, forget that one. Oh yeah, okay. We're gonna wrap it up. I'm wrapping it up with this dragon deck because it's pretty. It's pretty. I have a few other decks that I need to dust off before I start using again. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting on that. Although these aren't uncommon decks that I'm using, quite frankly. I'll tell you the name of them. I know somebody's gonna ask eventually, like, what are those? Where do you get those dragon decks? And I live in New York City, right? So, namaste, as corny as they can be sometimes, they are well-meaning. I feel like there's good intention there. But long story short, they have a lot of cards to pick from, so that's all I'm saying. Again, I'm not being paid. It's not a paid advertising. I don't know them personally. I apologize if anyone's ever had not so great experience there. Although a few times that I've been mostly in and out, and I don't think I've ever got a reading from anyone there. I mean, when your money's tight, I come in for what I come in for. See, I've been, again, like a lot of the cards I've been picking this all week, it's been a lot of yellow and orange, right? There's the solar plexus, which is self-confidence, and sacral is self-expression, expression sexually, sensually, expressively, creatively, self-expression. Crystal yellow dragon opens you to higher learning and wisdom. Expand your crown chakra for illumination. Walk the higher spiritual path. Expand your crown chakra for illumination. I don't know, I feel like some of you might have some better interpretation to that statement I just said. Walk the higher spiritual path. So like, oh yeah, so that's, yeah, everything's just coinciding, right? They're like, Z, go ahead and vibrate high, and that statement, like, for illumination, like prepare to be illuminated, right? The spotlight is coming to you. You're showing up, you're doing it. The spotlight, isn't that what color, like, spotlights a lot of times have? It's not usually beat white. It's usually kind of a gold hue or yellow hue, and a lot of lights and lamps. And then you raise the vibration, you know, it's like being the teacher I meant to be will teach, and in turn teach me. Gain wisdom. You actually gain wisdom. You gain a lot of wisdom through teaching and learning, and teaching and learning. And wisdom really, for me, wisdom comes from applying what you learned, right? There's information, there's knowledge, and then there's information that you apply to gain knowledge, and the more you apply this knowledge, it becomes wisdom. The more you apply this information and knowledge, it becomes wisdom, because now you have experience. It's different than just knowing something and having experience. Magenta dragon. Now we have magenta, which is also part orange. That's fun. It's just a nice color. Color combination. I would totally wear this. I think I have made something like that. Magenta dragon enables you to bring forward your soul wisdom, awaken your soul memories, and higher spiritual understanding. Prepare for accelerated ascension. See, this one says for illumination. Expand your crown chakra for illumination. This one says prepare for accelerated ascension. They're like, thank you, Z. You're finally raising your vibration. Not only are you learning, bugs keep landing on me, but that's fine. I'm not sure what even that was. It's kind of pretty. It's like a baby ladybug. Go. Although ladybugs, I had a friend that used to call me Xenobug because she thought I was like Ladybug. I don't know, cute and good luck. But they're like, yes. It's kind of like, yes, it's like having wisdom and now sharing wisdom. There's a learning curve in there too. And so like learning how to teach better will make me a better teacher. But yes, it enables you to bring forward your soul wisdom. So it's like we have within us, right? I lived many lifetimes. We have this DNA, we have Akashic records, we have a lot of wisdom within, which is what I learned. I learned how to go within. Go in, like it's deep. Within you is like this deep ocean. Like I want to learn how to animate so I can actually depict some of the things I've been saying and some of the concepts I understand but don't have like the solid visual for. Yeah, awaken your soul memories and higher spiritual understanding. Awaken. You notice it says awaken your soul memories. And so like I am an old soul. I'm an old soul. I lived many, many lifetimes. And that actually is, like a lot of times a few people I've noticed, like, you know, they try to befriend me because they're trying to figure out what my secret is. And unfortunately, we live in a world, people who only understand energy harnessing, energy harvesting, destiny swapping. It's like, you know, you don't have to do all that. You don't have to sell your soul. Your soul has so much wisdom in it. Your DNA, like how many, like, I'm sorry, everybody likes to talk science, but it is real obvious that none of you actually read books. Read a book sometime, y'all, seriously. Internet is cool, it's cute. We're not gonna have libraries anymore if you keep doing this, but anyway. Your DNA. I think I read somewhere that there's probably as much information in your DNA as there are in all the world libraries. Right? And we have this universal library that we all have a free library card too. There's no exclusive club, okay? The universal library is not an exclusive club. We can all access it. And it's start by believing. You can start by believing it's such a thing. I mean, not to say you can't happen upon it by accident without the belief. If spirit really wants you to be in there, they'll find a way to get you in there. But this called a universal library, and we all have access to it. Also, you live. There goes the umbrella. See, there goes the wind. That's me. That might be me getting excited. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like sometimes the wind picks up when I get excited. But you lived multiple lifetimes. Like, really contemplate this idea. And this is the reason why I say these things at the end, because people who have patience enough to actually sit through the whole thing is gonna get some really good gems. But if you lived, let's even use a short number, a small number as example. Say you lived 5 lifetimes. That's 5 lifetimes worth of experiences you have. So a lot of us don't even recognize sometimes that we're repeating mistakes. Some people, I've encountered people that literally repeat the same thing they did last lifetime. Like, I've met people and I've said, hey, I knew you sometime, some other lifetime, I don't know when. And I could even recall a little bit sometimes I can recall it's like little things about it. And I can kind of remember what the encounter was about. It's like having, it's like bumping into somebody you knew in 5th grade, bumping into somebody you knew in 3rd grade. And bumping into them actually brings back all that memories. Like, wait a minute, I remember you used to bully me. Right? It's like, wait a minute, you used to bully me. Like, wait a minute. I think you broke my heart in 3rd grade, I remember. And I learned from that day on, never let anybody walk over me, right? Sometimes Spirit is trying to get you to remember what you learned, so you're not just doing the same thing. What's the definition? Keep doing the same thing over and over again and hoping for a different result. What is that called? It's called insanity, y'all. It's called insanity. And a lot of us are confused because you're looking for too much information out here. You lived 5, 6, 7, 10, 70, 100 lifetimes. Ask yourself. Recall. Think about that. Just, I'm going to probably pull one more card. But recall. Remember. What does it mean to member something? Put it together. It's called remember. Because you knew this. It's called recall. Because you knew this. There are things that you knew that you don't remember knowing. And we go into this loop. This matrix has got people looping. And then it's funny because I said to someone, no disrespect, I'm not gonna name. I said, I said something about a mutual friend, like, oh, they're looping. I was just kind of annoyed. Sometimes I just vent, even though I know people are gonna be offensive. People are gonna take offense and misread. Everyone misreads. Most people just misread shit that I say. But I'm like, because I be trying to help people, and sometimes they're just too much in their ego to listen to me because, again, we're too clout chasey, y'all. A person doesn't have to be rich to be a real psychic, okay? Come on. Do you trust your spirit guidance? Do you trust synchronicity? Right? Pay attention to synchronicity. Spirit brought this person into your life to ask the question, so to get the clarity. You get into your logic and go, well, why should I ask them? What do they know? What college did they go to? What are you talking about college for? I thought you was woke. You know what I'm saying? I thought you understood. I thought you said you were a shaman. You're not a shaman. If you don't understand what I just said, I'm sorry, y'all, but you're probably not. Because even if you didn't pick up one book this lifetime, at the least, your gut is saying this person is saying something true. Even if you don't have to understand a word I said. I don't have to understand a word you say for my intuition to tell me that you're lying to me or not. It's not the information that tells me if you're lying to me or not. It's the vibration of lying that tells me if you're lying to me or not. What do you think a lie detector is? What is it? What is the thing recording? A frequency, isn't it? And then you tell a lie, and then the thing moves different. Well, if you're sensitive enough to energy, you can feel that yourself. Isn't that what the machine? It's a sensor. They put the sensor on your finger. They put, I don't know where else they put the little sensors. Here, and your finger, and your here. They put it where your pulses are, I think. Remember, I think it was Meet the Fockers, where he wanted to ask his future son-in-law questions. He put his hand, he said, give me your wrist, right? He wanted to touch his pulse. And he started asking questions. He said, come here, I don't need a machine. Because the person's frequency changes, the person's pulse changes. Unless you're a psychopath or something like that, which I'll be able to tell that too, because if no vibration is changing, then you're probably a psychopath. Or just a really good liar, which means you're a liar. Because guess what? Truth has a vibration. Truth has a specific vibration, no matter how good the lie is. Anywho, see, that wind is blowing. Spirit is just like, tell it, Z, tell it. right? Blue, wind. I can read this. Deep blue dragon, right? I said, deep, go deep. They're like, damn, Z, that was deep, what I just said. I'm sorry, y'all. I won't do too much too fast. I think this is the longest reading I've done. I'm not going over this hour and a half. That's it. Like I said, I throw the gems at the end to test people's patience, actually. I'm not testing. I'm also just being a little devil, I guess, in some ways. I don't know, whatever. Deep blue dragon keeps you safe by clearing your pathway. Keeps you safe by clearing your pathway. Trust that you are protected. Walk on a path of light. Remember I said about spiritual warfare. I got scared. I was feeling paranoid. I was going into survival mode. It was starting to get to my head, and I was doing I'll do that tomorrow, I'll do that later. Sometimes I start overthinking, right? And just I lived as a woman in this world. Guys, I don't think you understand how dangerous this world is for women. The way women have to navigate the world is very different. There's too many guys in that corner. Let me cross the street. But for me, I'm in this new skin, transversive, I'm psychic medium. Sometimes I do that. Like, I was a little bit reluctant to come outside, unless I'm going somewhere. Like, I didn't want to hang out in my own neighborhood. And then I realized we had this big, beautiful park a little bit further than just sitting in front of my building. Cause I live in the projects, y'all. It's a deep blue sea. The ocean is within you. Right? You are the ocean. The ocean's within you. You are as deep as that ocean is. If you actually go in there, you'll find out. The deeper you go, you realize how deep you could go even further. At first, you're scared and you're like, oh, do I want to go that deep? I talked to one of my friends from back in the day, and I used to think of her as being not so deep. And I'm proud of you for starting to meditate and stuff like that. I knew you was going to come back to the deep. You can't hang out in that shallow part of the water, but for so long, without driving yourself crazy. All I gotta say is, if you're gonna stay in the shallow end of the pool, then just get comfortable being anxious all the time. But when you think about the ocean itself, right, majority of the motion and waves and activity is on the surface. When you allow yourself to go a little bit further, it's smooth. That's why people look at me and it's like, I don't get it. I just stabbed you in the back. Why aren't you seeking revenge? I knew you was going to do that. I gave you the back to do it. Because I knew you couldn't help yourself. You need to stab somebody, okay? You might as well be me. You might as well be somebody who can handle it. You're welcome. You're welcome. Because it could have been worse, right? It could have been somebody who was vengeful. It could have been somebody, right? If you try to kill me with dark magic and it doesn't work, but guess what you just told me? See, the wind is blowing. The wind is blowing. Every time I say something like this, the wind starts just blowing. It's okay. I'm actually by the water right now. And sitting by the water actually helps me to recenter. Like, if either I'm getting in the water or I sit by it for a couple hours and I start to feel more at peace. Why? Because we are water. We are water, for one, and it's the reminder. It's the reminder that when you drop the fear, or do it afraid, let's not say drop the fear, learn to do it afraid, go ahead beneath the surface of yourself and go a little deeper than that, and I assure you, you'll find peace. No matter what's happening around you, you'll find peace within, because it's there, it's at the core. The core of you is always at peace. The core of you is always at peace. Your spirit knows why things are happening. Your spirit, see the wind, they're just like, child, preach. I have a lot of ancestors hanging around me a lot. And my also be time to wrap it up. So I want to wrap it up, right? They're just like, that's too much too fast. I won't. See what's at the bottom of the deck? Something blue, another something blue. Silver blue. Okay, I'm not me, Silver Dragon. Illuminates your potential with higher light, right? I'm out here, it's sunny, I'm in my light. I'm in my strength. I'm in my, trying to be it. You know, I'm working on it. I'm still working on it. And I appreciate you. I appreciate anybody who is old enough. Because quite frankly, you probably wouldn't find me if you wasn't going a little deeper. So, welcome. Welcome to the deep end of the pool. I'm Aquaman. I'm just kidding. I'm Zen, and this has been, well, this has been real. This has been real. Peace, y'all. Take it easy, everybody.